Hello, my name is Maggie Davis, and this fall semester I completed my internship with the Cape Fear Area chapter of the American Red Cross, working with the Disaster Preparedness and Relief Department. The American Red Cross is a nonprofit organization that spans across the United States and globally. They provide relief and support to any individuals that are in need after a disaster. The mission statement of the American Red Cross is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers through the generosity of their donors. The American Red Cross has a wide array of services available to the general public, including disaster relief, volunteer services, blood services, training services, service to the armed forces, home fire preparedness campaign, and international services. The American Red Cross provides preparation and relief to over 70,000 disasters per year nationally, and even more internationally, through the help of many volunteers who provide food, water, shelter, and any other resources to those communities that are in need. The fundamental principles of the American Red Cross include humanity, impartiality, neutrality, independence, voluntary service, unity, and universality, which through all of these principles combined, the American Red Cross is able to complete their mission and provide aid nationally and globally to any population that's in need. Since their founding by Claire Barton on May 21st, 1881, the American Red Cross has been dedicated to serving people in need. They received their first congressional charter in 1900 and to this day are tasked by the federal government with providing services to the members of the American Armed Forces and their families, as well as providing disaster relief in the United States and all around the world. The American Red Cross helps military members, veterans, and their families prepare for, cope with, and respond to the challenges of military service. Emergency communications, training, support to wounded warriors and veterans, and access to community resources help an average of 150,000 military families and veterans annually. In addition to providing services to the armed forces, each year American Red Cross provides and reaches aid to an average of more than 100 million people across the globe in many different capacities. The relationship between the American Red Cross and the federal government is special. The American Red Cross is an independent organization that is set up and functions as a nonprofit, tax-exempt, charitable institution, in accordance with a charter granted to them through the United States Congress. Unlike other congressionally chartered organizations, the American Red Cross maintains a special relationship with the federal government through their charter agreement. They have the legal status of a federal instrumentality due to their charter agreement, which required the American Red Cross to carry out responsibilities dictated by the federal government. And a few of these responsibilities include fulfillment of the provisions of the Geneva Conventions, in which the United States is a signatory, assigned to national societies for the protection of victims of conflict or war, to provide family communications and other forms of support for U.S. military veterans and their families, and to maintain a system of domestic and international disaster relief, including mandated responsibilities under the National Response Framework, which is coordinated by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is better known as FEMA. Despite their close relationship with the federal government, the American Red Cross is not a federal agency, which means they do not receive federal funding on a regular basis to carry out their services and programs. They receive financial support from voluntary public contributions or donations, and from cost recovery charges for their services, such as provision of blood and blood products and health and safety trainings. Under limited circumstances, though, however, it sometimes becomes necessary for the American Red Cross to seek appropriations for certain programs when the funding requirements are beyond that supported by the charitable public. At times, federal and state government agencies can also contract with the American Red Cross, and they will provide material aid and assistance to support the Red Cross in the fulfillment of specific instances for their charter obligations. The American Red Cross is part of the world's largest humanitarian network, which includes more than 19,000 paid employees and an additional 300,000 volunteers globally, consisting of men and women that are committed to working together to help respond in disasters, build safer communities, and teach the rules of war. The American Red Cross offers many different roles in which you can be involved in their mission. They offer biomedical positions ranging from phlebotomists to lab professionals, frontline disaster relief workers, business and administrative roles, positions for armed forces and veterans, and many more domestic and international positions. Through working as an intern with the American Red Cross, I was able to fulfill many different roles and work on different projects. The three main roles of my position included developing and presenting disaster preparedness materials, casework to help clients take charge of recovery after a disaster, such as a home fire or a hurricane, and then provide direct assistance to the victims in any way they would need. And lastly, contact and connect with volunteers to get them dispatched out during disasters such as hurricanes to help in the shelters and providing relief services in the region that is being affected. The NCHEC's competencies that were in coordinates with my internship roles included developing a plan for the delivery of a health education promotion program, training staff and members and volunteers involved with the implementation of the health education promotion program, coordinating logistics of the necessary program to be implemented, and lastly, the actual implementation of the health education promotion program. There were two main projects I was involved with working on during my time with the Red Cross. The first one included conducting call downs and dispatching volunteers down to Alabama and Louisiana back in September to aid in shelter and hurricane relief services during Hurricane Sally. In addition, the American Red Cross provides many different resources and programs to aid in disaster preparedness and relief. One program they offer for children is called the Pillowcase Project, which is aimed towards elementary age children in 3rd to 5th grade. This program's main goal is to teach children about home fire safety, but also can include local disasters specific to the areas in which it is being presented. So in our case, it was hurricanes. The Pillowcase Project is designed to be an interactive program teaching kids ways to prepare themselves and their family in case of an emergency by following a learn, practice, share model. By utilizing this type of teaching model, the objective of this program is to allow students to learn and practice the important information about disaster preparedness in the classroom, and then have the ability to go home and share what they retained in the classroom with their household. Working with my internship partner, we were able to take this program and convert it to a virtual format and conduct presentations with the Boys and Girls Club of Goldsboro, North Carolina, and help educate these children about home fire preparedness and hurricane preparedness. Overall, I very much enjoyed my time working with the American Red Cross. I feel as though I've gained a lot from working with this organization, and a better understanding as just to what goes into the field of disaster preparedness and relief. I felt I was able to very much apply the many different things I have learned throughout my time in public health to this internship experience, and it was a great introduction to the world of public health. The most important learning experience that took place for me throughout my time with the American Red Cross was working on the process of converting and presenting the Pillowcase Project. My internship partner and I took on the responsibility of completing the trainings and certifications needed in order to give this presentation. And once we completed that process, we were able to reach out and schedule our presentation with the Boys and Girls Club of Goldsboro and deliver our Pillowcase Project presentation via Zoom with them. I learned the most from this experience due to being hands-on from start to finish and getting this project off the ground with the help of my internship partner. It was hard work, but very rewarding in the end, giving this presentation and seeing the effect it had on the kids and all of their participation with the project. My most enjoyable and memorable moment during my internship was being able to present and interact with the children during our pillowcase project presentation. It made every step of the project worth it, and seeing it all come together in the end and participate and learn through our presentation. On the other hand, the part I least enjoyed was having to complete my entire internship virtually due to our current pandemic. I feel as though I could have gotten more hands-on experience if we were able to complete the internship in person, but due to the new COVID guidelines, I did my best to make the most out of our current situation and feel as though the American Red Cross helped better me as a student, a learner, and an intern. And I'm able to take everything I've learned through this internship experience and apply it to my next steps in the field of public health.